WNCU, the Triangle's only station for jazz and more. I'm Jasmyn Harper, host of Morning Jazz. And stepping into the Jazz House with me today is award-winning vocalist, educator, composer, and North Carolina's own Mavis Swan Poole. Mavis, thank you so much for joining us today in the WNCU Jazz House.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me home.
Yes, it's so excited. I'm so ready to dive into these questions and talk about your performances and just all of your accomplishments. But before that, I want to ask you, like for listeners who may not be familiar of who Miss Queen Swan is, and discovering you for the first time, who is Mavis Swan Poole?
Mavis Swan Poole is a church girl from Durham, North Carolina, who grew up in Walltown. To the parents, my parents are Jerry and Jenny Poole. I'm an experience. That's who I am.
Oh, wow.
I'm a person that feels every moment. I try to be as present as possible. I am spiritual. I am aware. I try to be alert as much as possible. But I'm a lot of things, and all of them are reflected in who I am and what I do. So that literally, I feel like, is me in a nutshell. And a mom. Definitely a mom. Sister, all those things. That I wear those hats. But yes, that the first part of it is who I am.
Yes.
So, yes.
Wow, that is amazing. I love that. I am an experience. Mm-hmm. Exactly. So one of the hats that you do wear is being an artist, a singer. When did, I guess, music or singing or even performing stop being a thing that was like fun for you? Well, not stop being a thing that was fun for you, but that was fun for you, but also something that you wanted to do for the rest of your life?
So it was one of those things, as Dr. Albert Wiggins said before, music found me. I didn't find music. So it was never really like a thing that was for fun necessarily. Yeah. It was my sanity. It is my sanity. It's who I am. It's how I understand and feel the world. It's that type thing. So I didn't really know that I could do it for a living until I got older. And when I saw people, like I saw, musicians, but I didn't look at it as like they were working or whatever else, like, you know. So, it was just one of those things. And I guess when you're getting paid for it is when it becomes your career. And it's a, for me, career.
Gotcha.
It's a career. So, it's once money started presenting itself, it was no longer just something that I was good at doing. It became a means of life and being able to sustain myself and other things. So,
wow, amazing. So I really like that you touch on how like music found you, and it's talking really about like how it's just it is a piece of you to kind of like have these different copes of like, I don't know, like healing, making you feel at peace, all of these things, instead of just it being like pushed on you or someone pushing it onto you and saying like, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that, and that you actually enjoy it. So I think that's really nice. But I also, before like this interview, like behind the scenes, I said that I looked you up, and I read that you received like the nickname Little Ella. Tell me more about that and how that came about.
Little Ella, that was from the legendary jazz giant, now ancestor or ascended master, Curtis Fuller. I was doing the Betty Carter Jazz Ahead competition. I had won my spot in the competition, and I was there performing, and when I walked off stage, I sang a song, and then I started scatting in the song. Wow. And when I walked off stage, he was just like, Little Ella. That's what he said. So I'm like, he was like, that's what I'm going to call you. I said, well, can I write that down? He was like, I don't care. So I was always still, thinking of moments to develop my career when people said things to me. Because they can say it, and if you don't document it or acknowledge it, it's a memory, and you can take it with you. So I'm learning, and I had learned at that time to start paying attention when people say things and use them, and so I can say them again and tell people what people really are saying about me to me, because they may not. So, it was one of those opportunities where he said it and I got his permission to use it, and I did. And even though he's, transitioned and flying in a different, plane right now, I use it, I keep it. It was here when he was here.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
a lot of people say things when people have gone on, because who can prove it true, when they're not here. But I had the opportunity to have it from the time he said it until the time he was here no more. So, it's one of those things.
Yeah, it's like he spoke life into you, in that way. And so it was already like he can see something in you. That way you take it for yourself, and it's like, oh, I see this in myself, though, And it's not to be like on any like cocky stuff. It's literally like, okay, well, somebody saw this in me, so I should see it in myself. So I think that's really nice, to be honest with you.
Absolutely.
Okay, so now I want to ask you, you're a performer, and you're performing at the Playlist Concert Series with Some of It All. And it includes saxophonist Blueford Thomas, bassist Kevin Beardsley, and in CCU's own, which we're going to get into later, Jeremy Bean Clemens, drummer. And I have to ask you, like, what made you say yes to wanting to do this performance?
Jeremy Bean Clemens. That is my musical soulmate. We've been working together since around 2007. And he is a musical genius, just melodic drummer, amazing musician, producer. He figures stuff out. He really is a bus driver. So when he's a part of it, he's a different personality. He has a strong personality, and a lot of people take issue with that. But he's also the truth, and I can handle that.
Got you. Yeah.
So when he tells me about opportunities, or when we're working on something, that's okay. I'm going to figure that out. We're going to do it. That's fine. If he's on it, that's it. And because I know he respects me, he wouldn't ask me to do things that aren't worth my time.
Right.
So that was definitely it. And I love it. I love the series. I love anything Bull City that makes sense musically. And, we've done it before. Soul Understated performed at the Playlist.
Wow.
It's been a while now, but a few years back. And so this will be a beautiful way to touch the stage again with, new musicians, but still family. If I'm not mistaken, Blueford went to North Carolina Central as well.
Really? Okay.
For a while. So he was also an Eagle. Or he is. Let me not say was. He is also an Eagle. Yes. So, yes.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, it's like a homecoming. Y'all are like 2 months early. So it's, oh my God, that's amazing. So you do have a song with Jeremy Bean Clemens.
Oh, many.
Yes, many. Well, yeah, I say a song. Many songs
Yes.
with him. And so this one specifically, So What? Tell me about that one.
That is so fun. So what? Okay, let me say the lyrics right now. Okay, the lyrics are, so what if I need a fill-in? I need to point to my nails. So what? So what if my edges ain't tight? So what if I don't like makeup? So what that I don't do it like you? So what if I don't like cleaning? So what if I want to rest? Everybody's got something they don't want to do. I like being comfortable, just like you, and I'm just checking the roll book for queens like me. So I want to say that those are the lyrics, because you may not hear them as clear in the, in the take. I'm not sure, but
Yeah.
It goes by fast, and it's over a go feel. It's just some of the magic that happens when Jeremy Bean Clemens and Mavis Swan Poole come together. So understated. So
wow, those lyrics are already beautiful, and I cannot wait for us to hear it now. That is So What with Jeremy B. Clemens and Mavis Swan Poole. We are going to take a break here, and we will talk more with Queen Swan in the WNCU Jazz House. This is 90.7 FM WNCU. This is WNCU, the Triangle's only station for jazz and more. I'm Jasmyn Harper, host of Morning Jazz. I'm in the studio today with Mavis Swan Poole. Thank you again for joining us today. So lovely having you here.
thank you so much for having me.
You're not fitting yourself in one box. You do jazz. There's soul in there. There's some R&B. Gospel is what you mentioned earlier. And I have to ask you, like, have you resisted being labeled as like a one genre artist, or do you like specifically kind of not cater to one, but identify with one more?
I identify with what I consider to be Black music. That's what I identify with. I had to study jazz, the jazz genre, but everything else kind of we just found each other and it made sense.
Yeah.
But you can label me, you can call me what you want, you can put me in whatever, you can do that if you need to, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna be. And when it comes out, wherever the labels fall and whatever makes sense, just push it and give me the money. That's what it boils down to. That, okay. So, I mean, I don't try to not have a label or a genre or a lane or a feel. I just do what feels real to me, what
Absolutely.
I can resonate with. And I try not to stunt my artist. I try not to stifle her. So whatever, or him or whoever, I don't know what's in, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
So at any given moment, whoever, whatever, I honor myself. I honor my experience and my journey, So musically, whatever comes out is whatever comes out. So.
Yes. Well, I definitely love that, because I don't know, I think people try to place people in categories all the time, I guess, to better understand what's going on, but I'm glad that it's not like you're just like, whatever you interpret it as is what it is. And I think that is a big part of being an artist and a creator, So you have this amazing gift, like, with your voice and how it can transform into these different sectors of genres. And I wonder, like, you said earlier that music found you, but whenever you started singing, did you kind of discover that, like, for yourself, how, like, your voice could kind of go on these different sounds, or did someone else, like, point that out to you, like, say, oh, you should try to do that, or you should try to do this?
I think I trust what's in my own head more than whatever I hear outside.
That's good.
And it sometimes it's not always as strong. Like when I was younger, it wasn't always as strong, or I didn't trust it because I had to learn to trust it. Excuse me. But what I've come to realize is that I land on my feet when I follow my intuition, even musically. I was sending a text to my son today to tell him to trust his intuition. Just keep being big you, keep being yourself, and just trust your intuition. So, but that's kind of how
Yeah. How did you, like, I guess, navigate, like, or I guess when did you learn that, I need to trust my gut more? Because, I mean, we transform and grow up and stuff, but, like, I guess at what point in your life were you like, I'm just going to go with my gut and not listen to these outside voices anymore? Or they don't really matter to me?
When I got tired of not seeing me, when I was a product of what everybody else said and wanted for me and everything else, and I was just like, wait, who is she? Like,
Yeah.
and where am I in me? It was so little of me that I just got sick of it and just decided that I wanted to have my own experience and just take the consequences or rewards that came with my decisions.
Absolutely.
And me trusting me makes it worth whatever the reward or consequence is. Not necessarily consequence, but lesson. So it definitely took time, and it takes time.
Yeah.
You know, and there's still things I'm discovering, but I believe that whatever spiritually I feel, I looked at myself in the mirror one day and I started crying because I told myself, you're the only one that has been with you in every single experience since the day you were born and before. You're the only one. And you're going to be the only one that goes all the way to the end with you. You're the only one.
Yeah.
So I was thanking myself for probably the first time. I was thanking myself for doing my best and going through it, because I always tried to make sure I came out safe or okay or sane. Or I looked out for myself, my self-preservation. Like, just, so it's just a matter of, for me, I'm getting lost in some of these questions, to be honest. They're all starting to merge. But
no, it's okay, because I love this. Keep going. Somebody out there is going to come back and listen to this, and it's like, I'm writing that down. Because I'm mentally taking these notes as well. I think what you're saying is very inspiring and impactful and important to say. Whether or not we get into a tangent or not,
And thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This is WNCU Jazz House. Everything goes down in here, not just music. Some knowledge is dropped.
Yes,
as well.
Yes.
Well, I again did research about you, and I saw that you had a vocal surgery.
I did have a vocal surgery. I had something known as a vocal sulcus, SULCUS. And I learned that my vocal folds or cords were basically split in half from birth, but I never knew.
Wow.
So eventually I just had issues. My voice was always very raspy because there was a lot of air escaping. It worked well with the genres of music that I ended up being placed in, but and grew up in. But
that was something that stood out to me too. I was like, oh, I love this rasp.
So, yeah. And it was like, when I was younger, it was crazy. Long story short, I was on a stage in Italy doing a gig that Gregory Porter was on called Harlem Voices. I think that's what it was. With the late Mansur Scott and Paul Zauner and just some other amazing musicians.
Yeah.
And I opened my mouth to sing on a stage in Italy on this gig, and nothing came out.
What?
Nothing came out. Now, this was not something that happened immediately. This was something that presented itself over time.
Yeah.
And my vocal range just started to shrink from both ends.
Wow.
So I just ended up with a medium where I knew I could kind of get, And when that happened, eventually it got very gravelly, and at the time my children's grandmother, Mutta, shout out to Mutta, who's now my angel, one of our angels, she was like, you need to go get your voice checked. Yeah. Like, she could hear the change, just, and so I did. And I went to an ear, nose, and throat specialist. I think it was at Mount Sinai in New York. But one of the spaces there, that may be two totally different things. Anyway, it was somewhere there. And I ended up having to. I just ended up having to have a vocal surgery to correct it. Long story short, but. Yeah. I had to go home.
Wow.
from Italy. I had to go home.
Yeah.
I couldn't. I was there to sing, and I couldn't sing.
Yeah.
So it was a very, very, very rough way to find out. But I went home and ended up having the surgery. I had to.
Right. Yeah.
It impacted everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I came out okay, thankfully. And there may be, some residue of what went on, but I'm just honored to have a voice and be able to still be heard and still be able to sing and express myself vocally. So I'm grateful for what I have.
Has your relationship with your voice changed at all? Like, is there like ranges where you're like, I don't want to necessarily hit that, or I can't necessarily hit
I think I've always kind of had that feeling about my voice being a mezzo soprano, like alto, having that lower and bottom range.
Right.
I found a way to get to my higher notes.
Right.
But it was always kind of that thing of trying to sing it a certain way and not able to. And coming to North Carolina Central University was the answer to a lot of that, learning how to sing properly, learning classical training with the vocal teachers that I had,
Amazing.
So that helped me save my voice. Really, what is it? What am I thinking of? Just ultimately, knowledge is power. That's ultimately what it is. What you don't know could kill you or cost you,
right.
So because that's how it's always been, where I've had difficulties anyway, it's just kind of like I do try my best to pay attention to my voice. I'm not in school, so I don't have to do anything every day.
Right.
But it's also like warming up or practicing or these different things. But it's also like eat a lot of candy with nobody watching, you end up with a cavity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you can hide, but eventually you're going to have to deal with whatever you didn't do. So
exactly.
Even though I'm not in school, I still have to have certain things that I do. Working, performing vocally helps. It keeps me. I have something to do. I need to warm up. I need to do this. It keeps a goal in front of me, or something where I have to keep my voice intact a certain way. I still take some chances because I'm human. I have my experiences. I'm not perfect. I don't pretend to be. I don't want to be. I couldn't be. Neither could you, by the way. So I'm just saying that to everybody. Okay.
Yes, of course.
Here I am being me. So I'm just saying,
You've graced many stages, and I know you have said that, you warm up vocally and things of that nature, but I wonder, like, when you step on a stage, do you still kind of get nervous, or have you kind of like, I don't know, I mean, of course gotten used to it, but are you still nervous where it turns into excitement and all of that? Like,
I'm probably nervous every time I step on a stage, if I'm honest. And it's because every audience is different. Every place is different. Every crowd is different. Even the same place is different on the next day. Your voice is everything changes. Yeah. So I am nervous a lot at times. But the moment I open my mouth, I'm reminded of who I am and what I'm supposed to be doing. Right. The moment my voice comes out of me, it's like, oh, okay, and it grounds me.
Gotcha.
So when I start, it helps. And I want to shout out, I have myself, not in an arrogant way. Poole Dream Building Music and Arts Academy. It is a space where it is a 501c3 nonprofit that I started last year.
Wow, amazing.
But I've been doing it all along. But it's for artists, it's for local artists, it's for whoever. And I decided to make it for any age as long as you are potty trained.
Right,
that's
exactly.
But, it's a space where you get to explore really anything, the arts, performing arts.
Which is amazing.
Performing arts.
Yes.
So it's really a good time. It's, a great effort. It's what I spend my days doing these days, building and working with people and sharing that vision. I teach people to face stage fright because I know what it is. So that's a part of what we work on. Public speaking really is confidence, and confidence comes with competence. When you're competent, you don't have to worry about the other stuff if you've worked on it enough. So it doesn't matter who's looking if you're competent. You just
Right.
do it. You've done it already enough. So it's teaching true confidence through arts and through public speaking, all these different things. And, you know, it's where I found my voice. And again, I still get on the stage and I'm nervous, but I have my techniques. I have my way of, you know, fear can be in the room and I'm okay.
Oh, wow.
I'm okay. I have to shout out Phil Cook for actually teaching me. He's an amazing guitarist and vocalist, but he said that once when he was talking with my students that I used to work with at Sally B. Howard, and he talked about fear being in the room, and I could visualize it. And I think that's what he was telling us to do. But it's like if I put a shirt on it in my mind, I can see, oh, okay, so you're there in the orange shirt. That's fear. And it's okay, you can be there, but I'm going to do this. So I do it scared. That's the bottom line. Do it scared.
Do it scared, yes. That has been a motto of mine, like, for so long. And it's also because, like, I'm not a singer, but I'm also a performer. I've done theater. I'm in film. I'm an actor. And, like, doing it scared always has, like, it just has a better outcome for me because it's pushing you and saying, like, you actually need to do it. I feel like when you're scared or have fear, but you know that doing this thing is beneficial for you, but obviously there's some anxieties going on, it's literally saying, do it. You gotta do it. My goodness.
And it introduces you to being brave.
Exactly.
An opportunity to be brave. So that builds you up too when you find out, wow, I actually did it, even though I was scared. So then it becomes fortitude.
Wow.
Bravery in the face of difficulty.
Just dropping knowledge right now. I love it. Oh my God. Like I'm being speechless because I'm just like, if I hear it, I feel like I'm supposed to. Of course, it's coming through me. So it's like, okay, I'm just gonna let it flow.
Let it flow. That's it.
Oh my gosh, this is going to be. Whoever is out there listening right now, take notes currently. Now you had mentioned working with Gregory Porter before, and y'all had like connections of people, Jamal Nicholas, right? Nichols, excuse me, Jamal Nichols, and you did a song, with him. Someday we'll all be free. Tell me about that.
That's a Donny Hathaway cover, and Jamal himself is from St. Louis. And he's also the bassist for Gregory Porter. Perfect. So I did meet him through Jeremy Bean Clemens. Wow. And Jeremy is also from St. Louis. That's his hometown as well. Wow. So Jamal, asked me to be on this project and to do that particular song, which is heavy. When someone from St. Louis asks you to do Donny Hathaway, St. Louis, to do one of his songs, one of his covers. Yeah. Of course, Donny is the father of Layla Hathaway.
Right, exactly.
So, oh man, it's a lot of circles here. I'm just getting a lot of experiences coming together as I'm talking about it. But so he is and just an amazing bassist, and I had fun doing the project. He sent the track and I recorded the vocals. In MySpace actually, and we just kind of sent them back and forth, which is what I do a lot with different musicians. And he got the takes and the pieces that he wanted and made it happen, and I'm just honored that he asked me to be a part of it. And it's a very, as a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, the late Malcolm Jamal Warner is on that album as well. Wow. If I'm not mistaken, I think he's on that project as well. So it's his Black Frequencies album. Yes. So Jamal Nichols, and that is Someday We'll All Be Free.
90.7 FM, WNCU. Don't you go anywhere. WNCU, the Triangle's only station for jazz and more. We are joined in the WNCU Jazz House today with the one, the only, Mavis Swan Poole. Thank you again for joining in with us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you again for having me.
Of course, as you can see, we had a change of scenery here, but you know what? We're still gonna get right into it. So, I am an Eagle alum. You are an Eagle alum. And, I don't mean to be biased, but I just think that we may be the best HBCU. Um, but, HBCU love always.
Yes.
But I know that there's like always something special coming out of NCCU, especially with different talents and artists that came out of here, like Marcus Anderson, Tamisha Waden, Ninth Wonder, yourself, and the list just goes on. So I want to know how NCCU shaped you and the person that you've became and the artist that you've became, if anyway.
NCCU chiseled me. It chiseled my artist. It fine-tuned me and developed character and prepared me to live in New York City. It prepared me. When I went to Queens College, people were worried just about me living in New York or being away.
Yeah.
But realistically, I just felt like after surviving the NCCU Jazz program under Dr. Wiggins and Arnold George, rest his soul, and so many other amazing but serious professors, I felt like I could handle anything, and I proved myself right. But it started here at North Carolina Central University without a doubt. So to me, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere.
Wow.
That's how I feel about North Carolina Central University and the jazz department specifically, but also other departments here. I think just North Carolina Central University, period.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's not a game.
It's really not, and I definitely can relate. I graduated about 2 years ago, and so, like, I was in the mass communication program, and I mean, we had professors who were just really getting to us, but it was preparing us for our careers. It was just like, okay, this isn't something to play around with, and especially with a career in, I would say, entertainment. Let's just say that, and I don't know, it's something more competitive in that nature. And so, like, even hearing about, I've heard about the jazz like studies program, even like from, we have like Tamisha Waden on here, and she was just saying like how different professors and instructors were like really preparing her and really just like tough love in a way. Absolutely. Wanted to see you grow. So I think that's really great. How was your time in New York? I want to ask you that.
It's New York. It's New York, and it felt that way. Let me add on to you saying about the entertainment part. My career is entertainment, but it's also education, because I also received my education and license here. So
I was about to bring it up.
yes,
I was like,
so
it's a full circle moment.
Full circle, because I have to add that education component in there, and so that is also something that North Carolina Central shaped within me. So I just wanted to throw that in as well to make sure that it was said, because that's the truth.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I was like, wow, that's really impressive with this full circle moment. And also just like painting a parallel, because me being here as a host for WNCU, which is owned and licensed by Central, and I was a student, I can imagine, like, it's just like, wow, did you know that you were kind of going to see yourself like being an instructor here at NCCU, or that wasn't necessarily like in the cards? Like, how did that opportunity come up?
Well, North Carolina Central University. By the time I taught here, I had been teaching for about 25 years.
Got you. Okay.
So
K through 12.
I've been K through 12, and I've also taught internationally. So after graduating here, we've done myself, and sometimes coupled with Jeremy Bean Clemens, we've done stuff in Russia, in the Ukraine, master classes all over. I've done things in China, Germany, just all over the place. So, this definitely opened such a door and changed my life in so many ways. I was teaching in Wilson at a school called Sally B. Howard, and I was the music teacher for middle school and high school there. And Dr. Lenora Helm Hammonds reached out and asked about me coming here to assist with the vocal jazz department. And I wanted to anyway. Dr. Wiggins, different people had spoken to me at different times, but I had to do some work first. But I didn't know. Like, I have a song called Gonna Make It that says, I can't tell you that I know where I'm going, but I'll recognize it when I get there. Those are the beginning lyrics. And that's kind of how it was. I didn't know where I was going with education. I just started. And when she reached out about that, enough work had been done to where I was able to do what I needed to do here as well. So, it was a beautiful experience. And shortly thereafter, I ended up working at A&T as well.
Right.
So
Are you the vocal jazz director there?
I was the vocal jazz director there for a few years, or semesters, years. Not long. It wasn't very long, but it was very effective and fruitful. And then the department got smaller. One thing I appreciate about North Carolina Central University, I say the whole name because I mean the whole name. Oh, yeah. One thing I really appreciate is their love for jazz, their support for the jazz department. And I learned firsthand that some other places don't always support the jazz field or study or whatever the same way. And no shade anywhere with anything. I'm just grateful for North Carolina Central University and what they contribute to the jazz world. It is amazing and it is important. So I will always stay connected because I understand that it's not a dying art. It's just the listeners. It's a dying society. Yes. And I don't want to say dying. I'll say transitioning. Yeah, so a lot is changing and people they're not looking for sophisticated music, in a certain space right now. It's just something totally different. Everything has a space and time. So I have no negative things to say about it.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that Central does recognize a lot of not necessarily jazz, of course, but they also do recognize gospel, which is something that you have indulged in as well. And you mentioned that you have a song that's more on the gospel spectrum, and it's I Won't Complain. Was that song?
That is that song. That is one of the songs. I Won't Complain belongs to. It's a song that anybody that grew up in church or has been around a black church, what it is. When you hear that song, you already know what it is. Yeah. But Enoch. Enoch Smith. I want to put Jamal in there. I don't think that's correct. But Enoch Smith, it's his project, and he asked me to do it. At the time, I was actually on the road with Lauryn Hill. So I came back to New York to do his project. And it was amazing because I had been around so much R&B, and I love it, but I grew up in the church. Right. So to have an opportunity to go back and sing a gospel song was food for me, and it was just everything. So yes, the song is I Won't Complain. It's different than the way we're used to hearing it. I've had some good days in a ballad form. I've had some hills to climb. It's a more of the ballad type thing, but this is a whole different, thing. So shout out to him. I have not heard from him in years. I'm sending love wherever he is in the world because he made some amazing music, and I was grateful to be a part of his arrangement of such a beautiful song, that's rooted deeply in the history of our people. So shout out to Enoch Smith.
I was just in awe. I was just hearing you sing. I was like, okay, yes, a live performance, a little bit. Now, with the different audiences that you have performed in front of course, there's a lot of different personalities, and so I want to ask you, what do you love most about performing for your home crowd here in the Triangle? Because I know you've performed at Sharp 9 Gallery, and of course other areas. But yeah, what makes performing here at home so different than anywhere else?
It's home. There is truly no place like home. It really is just, I see my, like, people that I grew up with, went to school with from like elementary, middle, high, family, like everybody, when they come and they support and I get to see them, like it really is just medicine for me. So to look out and see familiar faces, church, school, community, like everything, like it's just nothing like it, because the truth is, in my mind anyway, I'll speak for myself, I have a belief that I'm no bigger than where I came from.
Absolutely.
So it's no need for me to be different or change up. So when I am back around my people, I'm grounded, I'm home.
Yeah.
So it's just nothing like it. I don't care where we go, where I go, there is no place like home.
Absolutely. And I think it's what, happens in a lot of, not to talk anything negative, but like, well, a lot of people in their careers, whenever they are on the road and stuff, they kind of lose a sense of them. And so I'm so glad that you have no shame of coming back home and saying like, yeah, like this is my place. I want to come back and perform and stuff. So performing at home, and you've also done a song with your former jazz chair of NCCU,
Dr. Ira Wiggins, absolutely the one and only living legend, Dr. Ira Wiggins. Yes, I was living in New York, and he called me and asked me to perform on his project When Freedom Swings. And when I tell you, I'm honored to do a lot of things, but that touched me in a way that words can't describe, because of how serious he is, and he could have chosen anybody. There's so many people here, and he allowed me to sing at his mother's funeral. So that was the first thing that really kind of cemented my love for him, outside of the school setting. But then for him to call me and ask me to do it, like, it meant so much to me, and it means so much to me. It always will. So, yes, I was so blessed to have that moment in time with him on that project. And, it's everything to me. It still is. So.
Oh my God. Well, that's amazing. You can tell that, like, whenever you have that great professor-student relationship, it knows that you've made an impact on them. And I don't know, that just seems like an honor. More with Mavis Swan Poole. WNCU, the Triangle's only station for jazz and more. I'm Jasmyn Harper, host of Morning Jazz, and I'm still here in the WNCU Jazz House with no other than Queen Mavis Swan Poole. How you doing?
Thank you, Queen Jasmyn. I am awesome.
Great. Now, I want to talk to you about collaboration, because you've collaborated with some amazing artists, shared the stage with some great artists. Like, you talked about Lauryn Hill. I saw Prince. I said, oh my God. That's amazing. But you have also collaborated with artists such as Lakeisha Benjamin on your song, or you guys' song Human Being. How was that experience like?
Well, this is her song,
right?
And she asked me to be a part of it. She is another person that I met through Jeremy Bean Clemens. You'll hear his name a lot, because we worked together so closely for so many years, and we're still working together. So he introduced me to her, and he and I, it was his brainchild, Soul Understated. He asked me to be the other band leader with that band, and that's the band that we still have today. We still function today. But Lakeisha Benjamin was actually one of the original members of Soul Understated. So that's how I met her, as the saxophone player in our band, Soul Understated. And she's amazing in so many different ways. She's witty, she's very smart, and very honest, brutally honest at times.
You need that.
But yeah, you do. But she can be sarcastic too, on top of it. So it's just true, true sister energy, and so we worked on her project. She asked me to come and sing this song. She had different artists on this project as well. Melanie Charles and some other people. I just remember that particular song. Oh, China, either Black China or China Black. I can't remember her name, but she did a song that I liked on that album as well. But she asked me to be a part of one called Human Being, and it was a lot of layers. She knew what she wanted. She was pushing me to give her what she wanted, and so it was good, and it worked out, and we have this piece of history. So.
It's really amazing. And like just having that sort of collaboration, but also working with people who are so, I guess, lack of words, like serious, but also very like true to their craft, and they're like, okay, boom, have to get it right. But it all comes out to be like magic, So I think that is amazing. But you've also had another song that was a collaboration as well, In a Sentimental Mood. Was that a collaboration?
The version that is out on YouTube was from a program called Capsulosity, and it was, I'll call him King Brandon. I cannot think, Brandon Baines, I think his name is. It's been a minute since I've seen him and hugged him and all those things, but he asked Corcoran Holt, an amazing bassist that toured for years with Kenny Garrett and so many other people. We actually, it was not supposed to be Corcoran on that particular performance. I think it was supposed to be trumpet player Kevin Lewis. And Kevin was supposed to be on it, but something else came up, and then he eventually ended up moving to New Orleans, back home for him. So Corcoran actually showed up last minute, and very last minute, to fill in for this gig and do this song with me, which is one of my favorite songs as well, In a Sentimental Mood. I think I was 8 months pregnant when I did this. Actually, probably, closer to 9 months pregnant, actually. And he came in, and, Brandon mic'd us up, and we hit it and quit it. We did what we had to do. It was powerful. It was really good. That was a great series. It featured a lot of our friends, Jasmyn Harper, and, some other people. I want to say Sharonay Wade did it. I think so. I'm not really sure, but Jazz Divas. That's what it was. That was the series. And so that, when you see that video, In a Sentimental Mood, that video is from that series and from that platform with Brandon Bain, which is just an amazing soul and spirit. So yeah.
Great collaboration. Is there one that really like truly impacted you the most?
One collaboration.
Because I don't want to say favorites. Yeah, I don't want to single anybody out, but like one that
a collaboration that impacted me the most. I think there was, when I was in Queens College, this guy named Majid. He is a violin player, and he asked me to do a song that I had never heard before. It was called Chance, and I agreed, not knowing what I was getting into. Oh, wow. But this song really impacted me because there was so many loops and turns and changes and this and that. And I would say that one, as well as Dr. Wiggins. He had me to do When Freedom Swings, but I also did Inner Urge, which was a very challenging piece as well. Wow. So I think those two collaborations made a huge impact musically on me because of the challenge that it presented, so much so that it's like I still shake when I think of these songs. But it's it was a great collab. Both were great collaborations. So
yeah, I think whenever you are being challenged in that way, it's definitely a learning experience that you're like, okay, I needed this in a way. Yes. Now you are performing at the Playlist Concert Series with Some of It All. Is there a moment like in the show that you're like excited for the audience to experience by any chance? Anything that you could probably give away?
All of it. All of it. And I mean all of it, because every time we get together, we create something new. It's always an experience, and there's just always something that unfolds in real time. Like when I hear it back, I'm like, that happened. So I would really say all of it. I don't want to give away any songs. I don't know how tight. You just come and check us out if you can. Come and check us out. But it really is going to be amazing. I can't say I have a secret favorite. I'm not gonna say because it'll give it away. Okay. Yeah, it'll give it away. But it's yes. This will be the first time I've sang this song publicly. It's actually two. They're from two greats. Both have transitioned by now or at this time, but I've never performed these two songs, out on stage or live. So I am super excited for these two. So yes, I think this is going to be, I know it's going to be amazing.
Yes. We cannot wait. And I know you can't give too much away, but could you describe the playlist performance in perhaps 3 words for us?
Free, bold, adventurous.
Free, bold, adventurous. I like that. If you switch them around, it'd be fab.
Do you play with words and letters too in your mind?
I do. I love a good acronym.
See, and in my mind, I see tack, and then I see act, and then I see cat. Yeah. I play with the letters in certain things. You see acronyms. I see like mixing letters and playing with them and different things like that. That's what my brain does.
Be free, bold, adventurous, or free, adventurous, bold, fab.
Fab.
The performance is going to be fab.
Yes, Jasmyn. Yes. That's it.
It's literally going to be so fab, so that means that y'all need to check that out tonight.
Absolutely. I need to say, please, Jasmyn is the business, honey. A creator. She's a creative.
Thank you.
I love it.
This is an honor. Oh my gosh. Well, I do want to say thank you again for joining us in the WNCU Jazz House today. It was so lovely. We cannot wait to see your performance tonight with Some of It All. But to end us off here, we are going to play one of your songs, 4 Words Forward. Tell us about that before we play that. This is an original song. It is not out yet.
What? So this is
first exclusive.
Actually, you're getting the first take at it. This is the first time it's being aired. So this song came to me. Now I've sang it on stages before, but it's never been played on the air. This song came to me in a dream years ago when I was living in New York. The first and only time I think it happened. I got the chords. I got the idea was so strong and present. I got most of the words, and then it was just trying to remember it when I woke up and trying to hurry up and get it out of me and get it,
It will literally
down.
go like that.
Yes, absolutely. So I salvaged as much as I could, and the title of it is 4 Words Forward. The number 4 words, which is essentially forward. 4 words forward. So this is an original composition, and this is Jeremy Bean Clemens. There's so many amazing musicians just on this. Yes. So I'm not going to get it wrong. I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to hear the song. Is what's going to happen.
Exactly. Again, thank you so much for coming into WNCU Jazz House. Now, Mavis Swan Poole. You're going to find her tonight at the Playlist Concert Series in Durham Central Park at 7:30 p.m. Be there or be square. Where can they follow you on socials?
All things Mavis Swan Poole. So basically, at Mavis Swan Poole, do not type in all things. I'm just saying you can find me everywhere, across all platforms, all boards, everywhere, at Mavis Swan Poole. You can Google it, you can YouTube it, you can Instagram, Facebook. I lost my original page. It was hacked, my Facebook. But it's okay. Yeah. Things happen for a reason. So at Mavis Swan Poole.
Well, thank you again.
Yes, thank you.
Mavis Swan Poole up next in the WNCU Jazz House. This is 90.7 FM, WNCU.